After 32 years, Billy Dee Williams finally becomes Two-Face, not counting the Lego Batman movie. This week we're going to cover the Easter eggs and references from the Batman '89 comic series, starting, once again, with the cover, featuring Barbara Gordon and a whole bunch of Bat gear. First is Batman's cowl, which matches the one from the '89 movie, as well as the chest logo from the same film that Barbara Gordon's holding up. Behind Barbara is the Batmobile, as well as different sketches of Batman. These sketches come directly from David Mazzucchelli's art for Batman Year One, which featured the same sketches in the background when the GCPD was hunting the Dark Knight. Inside the issue, we get a dream sequence of Harvey imagining himself rescuing Drake. This gets reported in the Gotham Globe, which is the same newspaper from the '89 film. The bottom headline brings up UFOs being spotted over Metropolis, an obvious reference to Superman, who frequently fights off alien invaders. Harvey's rising career continues to hit the news with a Harvey Dent Day planned, which seems like a reference to the Harvey Dent Day from The Dark Knight Rises. Among the newscasters in this bit is the anchorman Peter McElroy from the '89 film. Another panel shows a celebrity in roller skates who's actually another cameo by Prince from the famous image of him roller skating in a Batman shirt, this time with Batman's logo replaced by Harvey Dent. We later get a scene in Harvey's office where, in the background, we see that one of the visitors is Harvey's assistant Carlos from the Batman animated series episode Two-Face Part 1. A year later, into the dream sequence, Harvey is the governor and Barbara has taken her father's spot as commissioner. Barbara here spots Winona Ryder's pixie haircut that she used to sport, and her role as commissioner is of course a reference to her role as commissioner in Batman Beyond, which carried over into Titans Season 3. In the dream sequence, Harvey and Barbara discover that Batman is actually an army of vigilantes with some very familiar faces. On the left, covered by the hand, is Ben Affleck. Next to him is Christian Bale. Second to last is a Batman that some might think is George Clooney. However, unlike Clooney, this Batman has yellow in his insignia, hinting at the Batman from the OnStar commercials, played by actor Bruce Thomas, who more resembles the face drawn here. Both also appear to have the infamous rubber nipples. On the very end is Val Kilmer, wearing the sonar suit from Batman Forever. Sadly, Harvey's rise to power is just a dream, as Bruce Wayne and Drake rescue him from the blaze, with Bruce mentioning the presence of sulfuric acid, which is the traditional Two-Face origin where Boss Maroni throws acid in Harvey's face. The use of fire and Harvey getting burnt from lying down also ties into the Dark Knight. When Harvey gets up, a shocked crowd sees his face first, including Barbara, whose reaction mirrors Grace from the animated series. When Bruce tries to leave the scene, he's hit with flash photography and says he hates being photographed. This is actually from Sam Hamm's 1986 draft, where Knox finds out that Bruce hasn't had his picture taken in years. Around the same time, Bruce spots Selina's Catwoman against the moonlight in a pose that seems very reminiscent of the Diet Coke commercial that tied into Batman Returns. In a later scene, Drake talks to Mr. Otis by a van for Royal Auto Body. The R in Royal is clearly tied into the R on the Robin suit, with Joe Quinones' concept art even saying that it comes from the mechanic uniform. Outside Bruce's home, we get a look at Wayne Manor from the front gates. These gates mirror the ones from Nebworth House, the real-life location of Wayne Manor in Batman '89 with the gargoyles in front. A van also has the Action News logo from the '89 film. As Bruce talks to Alfred inside, he describes the thugs who set fire to the auto shop as the Firebugs. This could be a reference to the Batman villain Firebug, who was also featured in the video game for the '89 Batman film. Bruce later talks to Harvey's doctor and finds out that Harvey's best chance to heal his face is to fly to Switzerland. This is similar to the original Golden Age Two-Face origin story, in which Harvey's chance to restore his face came from a doctor named Eckhart in Europe. The doctor talking to Bruce also looks like he was modeled after the doctor from the Two-Face episode in the animated series. When talking to Barbara, Harvey calls Bruce the White Knight. Dark Knight fans, of course, will recognize this as the nickname for Harvey in the 2008 film, and of course the White Knight Returns refers to the Dark Knight Returns. Harvey later carves up his coin, turning it into the scarred side, which harkens back to the Golden Age version of Two-Face rather than other versions where the coin is scarred in the same accident. Later we see the familiar Shrek logo of the cat, as well as Shrek's building from Batman Returns. This shot is also modeled after the same shot from Batman Returns. And this scene reveals that Batman has actually been wearing retractable lenses in this comic, revealing his eyes for the first time. Both Batman and Catwoman refer to the time that Catwoman stabbed him, as well as the time that Batman threw an explosive capsule at Catwoman's arm, giving her a burn that left the scar that she talks about. Artist Joe Quinones clearly models the rooftop after the Batman Returns one, right down to the window here where Batman and Catwoman encounter each other. It's been some time since Batman and Catwoman met, since Joe Quinones confirmed on Twitter that the comic takes place in the mid-90s, making it a few years removed from 1992 in Batman Returns. We get a reversal of the famous scene where Catwoman licked Batman, with Batman on top this time. In this scene, Catwoman criticizes Bruce Wayne for not recognizing the criminals among the elite, which also brings back a plot point from Sam Hamm's Batman 2 script. At the same time, Catwoman mentions having a therapist, causing Batman's shocked expression which echoes this face from Batman Returns. Catwoman also talks about a 14-year-old kid who wears a yellow cape and thinks he's Batman's sidekick, an obvious reference to Robin, the boy wonder. The issue ends with Harvey Dent in bed watching the news and flipping a coin. This is actually connected to how Harvey could have been in Batman Returns. In an interview with Daniel Waters, screenwriter of Batman Returns, he revealed that he originally had a scene where a scarred Harvey flipped the coin, but it landed on the good side, and he decided not to be part of the action. The opposite, however, happens when Harvey flips in this issue, and the scarred side comes up, leading into issue 4. Big thanks to our research assistant Dan for putting these visuals together for us, and big thanks to the people behind the comic, with Sam Hamm telling us, quote, "You know my dead drafts much better than I do." Artist Joe Quinones saying, "Thorough work, gang, great job," and Hamm again, saying, "You guys have found a bunch of Easter eggs that I completely missed, but I'm used to that from working with Jay Quinones, professor of Batmanology. Woe betide those who would challenge your scholarship." Thanks a lot, it's an honor. In the meantime, if you want to check out an alternative fan comic sequel, check out our friends at Batman Enigma. I'm Ben Wan, and as usual, do us a favor, tell all your friends about us.